you've ever created a vision board, you know how impactful it can be and how life-changing it is. Whether or not you know the exact steps to where you want to be, a vision board will help you to get there. Your subconscious mind is more powerful than you think. And in this training, you're going to get to see how to make a simple, quick, digital vision board without having to waste awesome magazines, use scissors, glue, or anything that will require you to put in a lot more effort. The energy is going to be quick, the time and everything that you put together this vision board digitally will be much less effort, and it's going to be so much fun. So I look forward to seeing you in the training, and let me know below what you think about this training if you're going to create your own vision board. I also have in the comments a link to a free trial of Canva Pro for those of you who don't already use Canva. Canva Pro has a lot of really awesome features that you're going to love if you happen to be someone who loves being on the computer and designing cool graphics, things for yourself or for your clients. I'm going to drop that link so that you guys can use it. But if you don't need it, Canva also has a free option that is very robust. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy. Hello. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a few minutes. After we allow people to come in, I'm going to check and see who might want to join us. It was a really last minute operation that I put together. So hopefully we can get a couple of people to join, but if not, this will always be available as a recording and I still love to share it, and I'm going to create mine regardless. It might not be now, it might be right after this training, but I want to share with people how I go through this process, how easy it is, and how really helpful it is as well. All right, so let me just drop a reminder. Okay, and all right, so I have created a resource for anyone who hasn't ever created a vision board before or who is interested in creating a vision board for themselves now. I use a program called Canva that is super easy, and it is very free and accessible to anyone who has access to the internet and a computer. And there are so many different elements that you can use that can really liven up your vision board and make it simple for you to go through that entire process. Once you're done, you can print it out and leave it in your office, in your bedroom, or print out multiple copies and leave it everywhere. The more you see it, the more you can envision it and bring it to life and make it super exciting. What I also do is I put it on the background of my computer and even my phone. So the more you see it, the more your subconscious is soaking it in and taking these actions that you might not already have the exact steps to get to your goals. So let's go ahead and jump into Canva, and I want to share a few things. Let's see. I'll share my screen. Okay, so here we go. All right, so you should be able to see a few of the things that I've created before, and one of them being this one right here. So it's taking a second to load, but I've had a few renditions of my vision board created over the years. Some of you might know I've created usually 2 vision boards within 1 year, because I find that around June, it's time for me to update because I've reached the goals that I've wanted to reach. Here recently, I started doing a vision board, as you can see on my screen right now, that is more robust, that involves more grander visions that end up taking a longer time. But because we just moved into a new home and a new space, it felt like it was ready, and it was time for me to have a revival, really just revisiting all of my goals, if they are still in alignment with where I want to be and where I want to go. So what I'm going to do is grab a template that I have. I believe that it's in here. I created it for another vision board training that I've done previously, and it's not in here. So you can see the difference in the vision boards that I have created in years past, that it went from being really busy and robust to more simpler things that I wanted to focus on. It's really up to you who you are, what you have going on in your life, how you want to make that happen. So, all right, I'm taking a little long to pull this up, so I'm just going to go ahead without it because I don't want to keep you guys waiting, but here we go. Okay, so with the first one, or this one, this is my most recent one. So I want to go ahead and explain to you what the breakdown is, and I'll also share the PDF that I created so that you guys can see what I mean and how I've broken it down. It's something that I can share with you guys as well. I actually created it for you guys so that you can take a look and see what it all breaks down to. I shared a couple of tips and then a link to how you can sign up for your own free trial of Canva Pro if you're so interested. There are different things that you can do on the Canva Pro that I absolutely love that you can't do on the free version. Both versions are super, it just depends on what you use them for and what your needs are. So I'm going to stop the share real quick so that I can check and see and show you the PDF as well. So the PDF that I created, a vision board. So this is just a basic cover of what it's going to look like. So I just put some things on here that people might love, things that they might envision for their future and their goals. Obviously, they are connected to me, but yours can be something very different. With that being said, something like this cover could be your own vision board. It can be as structured or unstructured as you want. The whole important thing is that you create one, but also that you see it very regularly. The intention behind all of this is that you give your subconscious mind something to work towards. When you don't have a specific destination that you want to go, you're wavering, you're floundering, and your mind doesn't know what it needs to focus on to get to where you want to be. So then you end up focusing and being thrown and pulled towards all sorts of different things. And because of that lack of focus, you're not going to hit those milestones and those goals that you have for yourself once you set them. So those things are very important, and it doesn't have to be super clear in this moment what it looks like. It's just going in there and setting that intention, selecting what feels really good to you right now, because the fact that it's digital, you can go in and edit it at any time. As the days go by, as time goes by, you find things that are more meaningful to you. You can replace them with things that make sense to you within that time. And this next page of what I've created goes into different ideas. It also has a couple of paragraphs about why vision boards work. So if you're going to create a vision board, if you're going to spend any time on anything, it's important to know why you're doing it. What does it mean to you, and why are you spending your time and your energy? Because those are very precious resources that we're never going to get back. The energy, of course, gets replenished and replaced, of course, but once you spend your energy here, you're going to have a little bit less energy in the next thing that you do. And so with the good intention of knowing what you're going into it for, it's always helpful. So vision boards work, again, like I've mentioned already, because they help you to visualize and really feel deeply into where it is that you want to be, where you want to go, and who you want to become, who you want to surround yourself with, what kind of lifestyle that's going to look like. And when you can see it and visualize it, your mind has a much clearer way of connecting with what that all is. So in order for you to manifest or attract or pray for or pull anything towards your life, it's not just about thinking about it. Thinking about it is not enough. Just saying it isn't enough. Saying I'm a millionaire, or I'm successful, or I am a speaker or a podcaster or a business owner. Saying those things is not enough. It's taking that next step and fully developing it in your head and owning it and believing that you are that person already right now. So what does that person look like? If you are a successful business owner, it means that you set your own schedule. It means that on a regular day, you get to wake up and create your own schedule and live the life that you want, meaning I don't have to set an alarm. I have flexibility to go visit my children during their field trips, take them to different places, travel when I want because I set my own schedule. I get to hire and work with the people that I want, put out creative things that I desire to make an impact in the world. So that's what a successful entrepreneur might look like. If I want to have a successful nonprofit, I can think of the impact that I'm going to make, the people that I'm going to work with in order to make these things happen for my community, for the world. If I want to be a model, what does that look like? What does that feel like? How am I going to wake up every day? How am I going to implement exercise? How do I eat? Who do I have around me to be able to hit the runway or to be able to achieve these catalog covers, things like that. The more we can break it down, the deeper we can see into who that person is and the vision of who you want to be, the easier it will be to attract those things to us. So that's why I mentioned earlier when we started this, that if you have, I've been talking this whole time with that up, but if you have something reminding you constantly on a regular basis of where you want to be, what it's going to look like, your mind is going to do all of the work. You don't have to have all of the answers, all of the exact steps now. So I hope you had a good chance to look at the PDF that I shared, but it did break down. We want to have a long-term vision that's within 5 to 10 years of where you want to be. If you can think out that far, maybe for you, long-term is 2 to 3 years or 3 to 5 years. That's up to you how you determine what long-term is. But having a breakdown of long-term of your life, your family, your career, your personal growth, things that mean something to you in where you want to be. You'll have a portion for that. If you want to put it at the top, the bottom, the middle, wherever it is on your vision board, that's up to you. Again, I revisit. You can add photos, you can add graphics, you can add words, phrases, quotes, movie titles, songs, anything in any of these portions that speak towards who you want to be. So that's for the long term. And then there's the present section where it includes the things that you're working on now, that you want to focus more on now, that you want to amplify and do more of. Again, in those same categories of self-growth, family, business, personal health, wealth, the things that you want to include. And then you have your short-term vision. Again, that can be in the next few months. That can be a year to 3 years from now, depending on how you view short-term, what that looks like for you, and how far you can think out in terms of short-term that you can see accomplished. If you can create the steps to it, what that might look like, and how it's included in your vision board. So long-term, present, short-term, those can all be included. within the categories and elements in your life that are important to you, which again has your own breakdown. That can include family, it can include school, it can be business, it can be personal growth, it can be health, again, monetary growth, the community growth, how you give back. Whatever is important to you is what you want to include. So I shared that, or you might have noticed that my vision board went from really intricate with lots of things on it to something really simple. So I had many things that I wanted to achieve, a lot of things that I wanted to get towards. I didn't have too much clarity. And to me, that was okay, because there were things that I was really excited about and I hadn't narrowed them down. And that's all right, because I was still passionate about them. When I got to a point where things were clearer for me, I then started to just focus on very specific things that I knew were important to me then, that I wanted to achieve. And because they were more important and more focused, I actually kept that vision board for about a year and a not a year and a half, actually a year and a half. And so that lasted longer than my typical vision boards. So it's just about what feels comfortable to you for where you're at now in life, and what speaks to your goals and what categories matter to you. Your vision board is never going to look like anyone else's, and every rendition of your vision board is going to be different than the last one and the next one, right? As you evolve as a human, as you grow and you attain your goals and want to reach new goals, your vision board is going to change. So let's go ahead and get into the tactical, and how to put everything together, because that part is super simple and very fun and easy. I'm going to create a general one from the one that I already had, and you can use those ideas to create your own. So I will go ahead and share my screen again and go back to Canva. So since this is the one that I previously had, I'm going to just duplicate the page. So that's this button with a plus sign, and I want to just replace these elements. If you are more comfortable with a completely blank canvas, you then can just hit the add page button, and it'll add a completely blank canvas for you to put in whatever you like. I know people really love to add quotes to their vision boards, or they like to add words, things that really stand out to them, words that speak to them, that they use often in their lives or inspire them. And if that's the case, I want to share with you the text element. And let's see. Okay, I was going to see if I could share something else. But anyway, so the text element, when you go into Canva's text element, there are lots of ideas. These would be considered templates. And you will see that anything that has the little crown next to it is a pro feature. Excuse me. I take a sip of water. And if it doesn't have the crown on it, then it is a free feature that you can use. And so for these purposes, since most of you might not have Canva Pro, I'm going to use the free feature. So let's say we click on level up, it comes up. Let's say for the rest of the year, what I want to do is level up. So I'm going to keep it that way. If you want to change it, you just click on it and change it to what you want it to be. So I can say self, and then I have to click on this and highlight the second word, and I can put growth. Now, if we want for this to change in any way, we can pull the sides so that they can expand. You can pull the corner to change the whole thing, and you can move it around however you like. You can also highlight it and change the colors. select any of the colors. The cool thing about Canva is they will tell you the colors that are already being used in the document, so you can change that up. You can also, if you don't want 2 words, you can also ungroup, because if it's a set of words, it'll usually be grouped. So you can ungroup, and you can then just delete the self if you don't want that. But also you have the ability to go into effects and then select any kind of effect you want on the text. So if I wanted to change it to something different, and let's say do a color that really stands out, any of this is something you can do. If you want to select your own color, drop in the code for it or select it from this bar. Or now they have a color dropper that you can just pick from your photo or your current graphic, which is super cool. So anyway, I'm going to, let's see, do white. I like white, and I like what they call the lift. So let's say we go with this for now. And then if we want to add, or actually, if you don't happen to love this font, you can change the font up here. You can see again, the Pro fonts will have the crowns next to them, but you have a huge selection of fonts that are not Pro, which means you can get them for free, and they're super fun, and you can play around with them. You can change their size, their color, you can make them bold or italicized, and you can use bullet points. You can hit Command or Control Z to undo anytime you don't like what you use. If you want to go into this, you can change the letter spacing as well. Excuse me, almost had a sneeze. And then the line spacing. The line spacing is going to be the how much space you have between of course, the 2 different lines of text, right? So we can increase or decrease. So that's also an option, which is really fun. Okay. So we're going to go into the other elements. So for me right here, when I wanted to work on my credit, there was a time when my credit was really important to me. And so what I did was I went into either photos or elements. And that's another really cool option. You can go into photos, you can find something that you really like, or enter in what you're looking for, and it will pull up lots of different options for you. You'll see that these are pictures, and you can pull a picture into the graphic. So if you, by just clicking on it, actually, so once you click on it, you can move it around and you can change it up however you like by making it bigger or smaller with pulling the corner dots, or you can resize it and really play around with it. I also really love the edit image option and adding shadows. To me, the shadow gives it like a extra piece of oomph. That's really cool. It gives it that 3D look. So for example, instead of this, I could have had something like this. It shows that I'm working on some kind of financials, right? So that's a way you can add photos in. You also have the option of adding the photos into a frame. So if you go into elements and you look up frame, they have all of these. Anything that you see, this kind of stock image of the grass and the cloud, you can click on it and it'll give you this frame, and you can add it to your main vision board. You can, in this one specific one, you can change the border color to whatever color you like, and then go back to photos and you can find a photo that speaks to you. And once the photo is in here, you can just drag and drop it into the frame. If that's not the photo you like and you want to use a different picture, just pop in a different picture, select the new one that you want and drag it over and it'll drop. If you did that by mistake, of course, there is always Command Z or Control Z, or you can hit this undo button up top, and it'll undo what you just did. So let's keep that frame for now just for fun. Let's say we want to travel and eat some exotic fruits. So those are the elements and the photo features. I'm going to go a little bit more into elements because there are lots of fun things you can do here. If you remove that frame, whenever you go into elements, you have lots of different options. There are moving elements, there are other fun elements. For example, if you want to create a garden, you can look up some flowers. Or you like working with bouquets, or you like working with anything floral, you want more flowers in your life, find some flowers, drop them in and resize them how you like and leave them there. Or if you just want to add them as an extra touch to make your vision board come to life a little more or be a little more fun, you can add that as well. So you can see as I'm moving this around, this highlights because this here itself is a frame, which means anytime you move an element or a photo or a picture, any of that you move over a frame is going to highlight, asking if you want to put that into the image or into your frame. So I don't want to replace that picture right now, so I'm not going to do that. So here, this is it. I don't know if you know me well enough to tell this is not my body. It is definitely my body my head on someone else's body. And the reason why is because I really loved this dress, but also at the time I wanted to be healthier as well. And so what I did was dropped in my own photo. So that's where you can go into uploads. You can select upload media and you can pull something from your computer to put into your graphic. Or you can go directly to Google and find a picture that you like. And let's say we find a ring and go to images. Let's say, okay, that's shopping actually. So we're gonna you can right click on it, you can copy the image, and you can actually drop it right into Canva by Control or Command V. So the cool thing about Canva, if you have Canva Pro, you can see this is a crown feature, is you can remove the background. Everyone loved that feature when it came. People still love that feature and use it all the time now. So what I did was I dropped in my own photo of my face. I removed the background, and then I removed the background of the model, and I just plopped my head right on her. I resized it so that I've grouped it. So let me ungroup. But I resized my head so that I would fit onto her shoulders, and I did a little maneuvering so that it would look like it was real. So I'm just going to undo that so it looks similar, or go back to where it was. So, there you go. See, if my focus was a huge diamond ring, then I could put that right there. So with all of that being said, we're 30 minutes into the tutorial. I covered just about everything that you will probably need to get this vision board to come to life for you. It's the photos, the elements that make sense, the word, the quotes. If you pull your quotes, you can just go highlight and select the quote and drop it into the text. For example, let's look up motivational quote. We're not going to do that. We're going to do a quote that we can just copy and paste. So if you're going through hell, keep going, for example. So if you highlight and copy it, you can just control paste here, and you'll see that it's here. So with this specific website, they load the link to the quote as well, so that it gives attribution to where you got it from. Okay, but you can highlight it and delete that part so they can keep what's relevant to you. Highlight all of that and change the color to what you want. Let's say I want lavender, and you can change different parts of the words to whatever colors you want. I'm gonna say we're gonna use this just for fun. I have no idea how to read that because it's not very clear. But once you get going, you'll figure out what works for you, what looks good for you, and what you like. And as long as it's something that you like, that's really all that matters. So I'm going to delete this as well. Okay, so let's say we keep that right there. But in terms of the quotes, the words, you can throw random words all over the page if you'd like. You can keep that quote however big or small you want, located wherever you want. You can make your vision board 2 pages. You can make it half a page. You can make it as big or as small as you want, as long as, again, you take that action and you create a vision board. So we have all of the pieces. Of course, this is not what mine's going to look like for my new vision board, but I did break down some really cool things that you can use in Canva, some things that you can do that you can further explore yourself. But once you're done, Canva also offers you the option of printing your design. So if you click on print your design, you have all sorts of different ways. If you want to put your vision board on a hoodie or on a t-shirt or on a business card, you're welcome to do any of those things. But you can also, of course, print it out on poster board. So what we can do is look up poster. Let's see. Let's say a flyer would work as well. So let's say flyer, here's the thing. If you have a specific design and it's not the right size of how you want it printed, Canva can help you to resize it, which is super cool. It is also a pro feature, but it's very helpful for people who create multiple different graphics for different locations that require different proportions. So you have that option of printing from Canva. They are super high quality, they're really good, and they're fast in the way that they come back. So that is your training for creating a vision board. At the end of the day, it's not about the end product as much as it is the intention going into what you're creating, how much focus you are giving it after it's been created, how much you're thinking about it, and the kind of heart and passion that you're delivering to what you're creating. Does it mean anything to you? Is it going into deeper levels of your desire, of things that you want in your life? The more meaning it has, the more of an impact it's going to create whenever you put that vision board together. Of course, my project wasn't complete and it wasn't fully aesthetic, but it gave you a good idea of how you can get yours going and different ideas of how you can make it so that it works much better for you. Again, what's important is that you see it regularly. You can feel and envision yourself in the space of being this person who owns this house, being this person who has a family of 4 or 5, or being this person who just feels so delighted and happy and healthy in where they are. Whatever that looks like to you, you can add all of those elements. If it takes 1,000 pictures and you want to spend a day on it, go for it. If it takes just 2 pictures, maybe of your mom in her healthiest state, and you want to reconnect with that, and that's what gives you meaning, go for that. But the important thing, again, is that it has meaning to you, and you can go and you can deeply feel what it would be like to be in that space. So regardless of what it looks like, if it means something to you and you can fully immerse yourself in it. That's how vision boards work. That's how they can continue to help you to get where you want to be and live your dream life. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I will have the recording available if you want to revisit it. I'll also have the PDF out so that you can try Canva Pro for free and check out all of the cool elements. If not, regular Canva, fully free Canva is also still really awesome. Lots of cool things that you can do on there. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, as well as if you found any benefit in this training, then please let me know. Share with people that you love, and they can too create their own vision boards. You can share with me what you created. I'd love to see. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year heading into June 2022. It's going to be amazing. I'd love to connect with you guys and see where you're at, how your vision boards are coming, and what you're knocking out of the park and replacing with new goals. All right, have a wonderful day, and let's get inspired.